Good morning. I hope all is well. Welcome to the last day of CAADRIA 2020 conference and to the very last keynote session of the day. So we are very excited to introduce you to Mr. Takeshi Yamada from Teamlab, who has graciously accepted our invitation to be our keynote speaker for CAADRIA 2020. A little introduction. Takeshi Yamada is a member of Teamlab's management team. As you know, Teamlab does not consider traditional organizational titles in their team. He will be speaking about the theme of relationships among people. One of Teamlab's core concepts, which aims to explore a new relationship among people and to make the presence of others a positive experience through digital art. Yamada-san will introduce such concept along with Teamlab's works. In addition, we'll have a little introduction about Teamlab. If you haven't already known, Teamlab was founded in 2001 as an interdisciplinary art collective whose expansive practice involves collaborations in the fields of art, technology, and science, exploring the new relationships between people and between people in the world in the information age. Artists, programmers, engineers, CG animators, mathematicians, architects, web and print graphic designers, and editors form Teamlab, using technology to dissolve the boundaries between the physical and the conceptual, and to propose new models of perception in the digital era. Their work is immersive and interactive, focused on the themes of creativity, play, exploration, immersion, life, and fluidity. The talk of Yamada-san's keynote today is relationships among people. We are very excited to have Yamada-san here with us today. And without further ado, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Takeshi Yamada from Teamlab.
Thank you very much, Vincent, for my introduction. Hi, everybody in Thailand. I'm speaking from Tokyo. It's 12 o'clock right now. I think in Thailand it's 10 a.m. right now, right? So I'm like to speak about the main topic of my talk today is I would like to tell the reasons of why Teamlab is making artworks, and we have some specific concepts. So I'd like to introduce them all today. So let me share the slide from beginning. Right. Let me begin the presentation. So as the Vincent is already introduced about organization already, we are Teamlab based in Tokyo. We are art collective and we've opened our company from 2001. So this is our 19th fiscal year this year. And after spending 19 years after establishing this company, we've got many different members to be joining, like such as the architects, designers, animators, different type of programmers and mathematicians. Many types of members is now get together to make something, and something would be this digital art. So why we call our artworks as a digital art is it's simple. We make artwork in digital way. So as you can see, the artwork used to be belongs to, or maybe I can say artworks used to relying on physical materials. Like if we see this kind of sort of painting, the painting was drawn on the canvas and they are existing within the frames. But in our artworks is, let me show you one example. So again, there is a frame of this painting, but in our case, this painting, I mean this in this case calligraphy, they can leave from their frame there by themselves, not without having orders. And also, if they get away from the frame, they can also leave from their room and start soaring around the spaces by themselves. And the people, I mean the visitor, can interact with them. So as you can see, this is what we call digital art. The art can be interactive. Art can be moved freely without having order. That's the definition of digital art. And then when we are making artworks, we have specific concepts. And then today I'd like to introduce three of them. And the first one is we call it body immersive. So within our installations or exhibit, we are trying to bring the visitors inside of the artworks and to become a part of it. This is the first concept that I would like to talk about. And then I'm going to show you 4 videos from now. And then the first one, this is the one called Teamlab Borderless. This was the very first museum that we have opened by ourselves. I mean, possessing this museum by ourselves. And then in this museum, there are more than 65 artworks living together. And for example, if you see this bird flying in the space, they can also move freely, not having an order. So if you see the bird, maybe you can touch them. Once if you touch them, they will be reacting to the visitors. Also the flowers, also the different animals. Every single artwork should be reacting to the visitors. So that's why we named this museum as a borderless. There should be no border between artwork and us. So every single materials can be interactive within this space. And then this was our first work we've opened by ourselves. And then I'm going to show you the next challenge of ours. So we've opened the same similar museum following the same concept, borderless. And this one is in Shanghai. We opened this last year. And then as you can see, the atmosphere, the artworks inside Shanghai and Tokyo is different. But some of the artworks have similar atmosphere, some similar concept. As you can see, there is also a bird in Shanghai and Tokyo. But also, for example, this is our next challenge. We are trying to connecting Shanghai and Tokyo. I mean, the 2 borderless. And then after connecting the two museums, I think we can make 2 different museums as a one borderless. For example, if people in Shanghai makes flower in this place, and then maybe the Tokyo we are now in Tokyo can see the flower from China, I mean Shanghai, or something like this. And then when we are seeing flowers, when we are having the interaction from different countries, different stations, different places, we don't feel any negative emotions, or we are just feeling positive. We can see something beautiful. That's because there's another person existing in different places. So that's our next challenge. We're trying to connect the 2 borderless to make it one huge borderless. And we are trying to opening a borderless in different countries, different places from now. And then this can be, this is another museum we have in Tokyo. And this one is called Planets. In personal opinion, I think the planets can be one of the best places that we can feel the body immersive experiences. As you can see, I said earlier, we are trying to bring the visitors into the artworks, so that visitors will be physically get inside of the artworks. As you can see, at the entrance, we are taking off the shoes, and we start walking to the water. So you are actually touching the artworks by your body, and your body will be surrounded by artworks. And again, all the artworks can be affected by your actions. So in this space, all the visitors is making these huge installations right together. I think without having conscious, everybody can be interactive to the artworks and also visitors as well. And past 3 years or recently, we are using light, projectors or LED light, so much as our artworks. But in our on the other side of our artworks, we are sometimes using the real materials. So in this case, we use real orchid. But again, even if we are using physical, the real object, we are making them into the digital artworks. So we put the sensors in the flowers. So when the visitors enter this room, and when the visitors get closer to the flowers, and then the flowers start to go in and make a sphere around the visitors. And if there is somebody walk toward you from different directions, and your sphere and then somebody's sphere will become one huge sphere to make different areas, different spaces. So even if you're using real object or materials, we are making this into the digital artworks to make the body immersive experience to visitors. So this is the first concept I wanted to talk today. So the first one was body immersive. And the second one is, we call it co-creations. This is, as you can see, this is the shorter version of collaborative creations. So this concept is existing mainly in this our focused on kids project. We call it Future Park. And then this Future Park project is mainly focusing on kids' creativity, how we can increase them. And then I'm going to show you 3 of this work from Future Park. And the first one is named Sketch Aquariums. As the name says, as you can see, when the kids come into this exhibit, place, they can start selecting their preferred pictures, and then they can start painting on the paper. So once if they scan and scanning their paints, then their fish, their animals will be showing up in the screen like this. And again, there will be sensor on the screen. If the children wanted to touch the fishes, then fish started running away from the kids. But when the kids open the food, and their fish will be coming back from them to them. So this is the interactions. In this co-creation concept, we are expecting all the people, all the viewers to having such an emotion, which is, it's going to be very more interesting if we shared ideas with the strangers, with the different persons. If we are playing this installation by ourselves or by alone, it's not that much interesting when we are playing this with different persons. And again, another works which is following the same concept. This is because block town. And in this case, the people is using blocks, and we are putting the blocks on the table. And if we place this shape of blocks, and they will be showing up in the screen. In this case, it's a huge table. And then if it's sharper than 90 degree, then there will be the railway will become split. But if it's more straighter than 90 degrees, and then the railway gets longer, and as you can see, the train also getting bigger and faster. So this is, if I explain the algorithm, it's quite simple. But again, if there are many children playing together, this town is more becoming interesting, because if we place the one blocks, maybe your train started to running toward different directions, different than you are expecting. And this is again, this is a town, so town never be destroyed. So if you place this circle shape of blocks, there will be river comes on the screen. But if there's something distracting the way between the blocks, and there will be bridge comes on. Otherwise, the river can be breaking the railways. So at the end of these installations, the town will be becoming like this, more cheerful and more interesting, playing with different persons. And the next one is, we call it Digitized Nature. This is currently our most updated version of children exhibitions. As you can see, the children's animals or the flowers, they are no longer necessary to existing on the table or the wall. There should be no borders, so the animals can live whatever if they preferred. Again, this is the same algorithm. They are not following any orders. So this is the real nature that we make by digital. So if some of the children draw alligator, the strong animal, if some different children draw the frogs or smaller animal, maybe smaller animal can be eaten by the stronger animals. But once they are getting eaten, they will become more beautiful at the end. So this is the nature that the children can experience in digital way, and also their experiences in co-creation experience without having conscious. This is our second concept. And then why we started thinking about we should prepare the opportunity for having experience for co-creation for the children is because this is the original text we made from beginning. I think everybody, almost of you can agree on this opinion. especially in this situation, pandemic by the COVID. So the human now we are doing very many different types of jobs, but like most of them will be, in our opinion, will be disappearing within the next 30 years. There should be a good example. Maybe the register stuff at the convenience store should be released, deleted from the next, I don't know, 5 years or 10 years, because in Japan, at least, I'm not so sure the situation in Thailand, but in Japan, if we go to the convenience store, there's a shop assistant waiting for the register, but there's a filters in front of them, and they're wearing the masks. Nobody have no idea like how many risks that we can cut from them, but human is taking a risk to work in front of everybody, in front of the virus. It's very, we think it's nonsense, and people don't want it to do some sort of works anymore in the future. So in the future, so what kind of job we would like to do, we can do in the future. When we thought about that kind of job shouldn't be taken over from AI or robots. And that kind of job will be necessary to use human brain, I mean, creativity within the brain, and the collaborative, and if we share the creations with different person with the collaborations. And then that's kind of that sort of the works shouldn't be taken over from AI and the robots from next at least 20 years or something. And therefore, the human should prepare to increase our creativity. And we did a study on this issue, how we can improve our creativities, because it's a mysterious topic. Everybody's got creativity, at least one level of creativities, but we cannot actually estimate how much creativity is. We can count as a numbers. So we did a study on these issues, and then we came up with this conclusion. After the people is the human creativity can be increased, improved when we have a experience of co-creations. The definition of co-creation is collaborating with that different persons to share their idea to create something together. The kind of experience is actually improving the human's creativity in our study. So that's the reason why we started to make the place, make the opportunity for starting from children that they can have an experience of co-creation to increase their creativity. That's the second concept. That's why some of our artworks is based on focusing children's experience. This is the second concept, the co-creations. And then the next one should be the last concept I'd like to talk today. So the last one is called the relationship among people. And this is the concept that we are trying to make the other human beings' presence into the positive effects to each other. This is very difficult to imagine. So I'm going to show you one example how we are actually changing the relationship into the positive way. So this video was shot when we are having the very first exhibit in Europe. And this was London in the UK. And we brought this artworks. This one is named Flowers and People. So as the name says, there will be flowers and people existing in this room. And the algorithm, the system of this room is simple. When the people standing still, I mean without having moves, without moving, then there will be flower start to bloom around them. And also if you touch the wall and keep stable, then there will be flower showing up on the wall. But once if this touch them, or once if you move from the floor, then the flower starts scattering. The flower will be disappearing. This is our algorithm. And then when we came to the UK from our first time, we were very nervous because we thought we were nobody at the moment in Europe, because I thought we were nobody because we didn't have any chance to show ourselves in the not even in the UK, but in the European countries. So we were kind of afraid if there's nobody showing up for the first day, it's going to be a nightmare for us. But like we were very lucky and very unlucky. And for the first day, we've got too many visitors showing up for the first day, and it was more than 3 times that we have tested in before opening. So this is a picture that this room finally became. So there are too many people existing in one tiny room, and they are touching the flowers. They are keep moving on the floors, and then this is the result. The old flower is gone, and there's no new flowers to start to bloom because there are too many people moving. And we had no idea how we can deal with, how we can solve this problem. But suddenly, one of the visitors, the man in this picture, started to ask our staff why we cannot see the flowers in this room, because this exhibition says flower and people. Then now we can only see the people in this room or something, he said to our members. And then those kind of embarrassing moment, but we have explained him the system of this room. We told him that we have too many visitors, too many people in this room. That's the reason why we cannot have we cannot see the flowers in this room. And then it was quite expectable. But he started to communicate with different visitors. I mean, they are total strangers, but this man started to talk with different members, different peoples, saying, everybody, this place is too many, we have too many people in this room. So I'm going to visit the next room by now. And let's control the density of this room, to let's make the flowers start to bloom again in this room. And then it was very interesting that many visitors started to talk with their friends, and then the people started to control the density of this room after we told the system to the one visitors. And after spending 5 minutes, 10 minutes, the flower is coming back to this room, as it quite similar as the video that I showed earlier than this, before these pictures. So at the moment, people looked like become some kind of one team working on the same project. So when we see the flowers, everybody, including our members, becoming very happy. Like some of them doing high five, and everybody is cheering up each other in these situations. We thought it's kind of very rare. It's not easy to make happen in the public space or different places in this world. For example, is anybody have seen Mona Lisa in Louvre, in Paris? I have seen once, but if you go to to see Mona Lisa in this France, and the environment will be always like this. We have no, I just want to clarify, we have no critical meaning for the traditional artworks, but like, if it's a traditional artworks, I said in the beginning of my presentations, the artwork belongs to the physical materials, and they don't change, they don't interact with the visitors. And that kind of situations, the people relationship we become like this. So if there's nobody around us, we can see Mona Lisa by alone. That will be the best experience that we can do with the Mona Lisa. In this situations, people relationship never be. It's very difficult to make it positive. Nobody's gonna start to say, let's control the density of this space. It's going to be very strange to say that in the situations. But if Mona Lisa is digital art, let me think about one example. If we can make Mona Lisa into the interactive digital artworks. Okay, one idea, maybe we can put the camera into her eyes, and then we can calculate the numbers of the human in front of the paint, in front of her, in front of Mona Lisa. And if the number of the people is more than 100, maybe Mona Lisa will be disappearing from the frame, because like she's being very shy. And once if number of the people in front of her is getting less than 50 or less than 50, and then she will be coming back in the frame, sneaking to see how we are waiting for her to showing up again. And then maybe if there's less than 20 people in front of her, then she is finally coming back as a frame in the original style, or something like that. If there's any interactions, depending on the behavior of the visitors, and then maybe this environment can be positive. Maybe some of them started to say to the strangers, like, let's control the density of the room. So that's I think we believe that's one of the reasons that why we are making digital artwork in interactive way, because we can make the human being presence into the positive effects to each other. And this is another example. Oh no, let's look back to our works. So if this is a situation of Mona Lisa, maybe the person standing in front of everybody will be that the best experience, and everybody's envying that she can stand in front of everybody. But in our artworks, as you can see, nobody's gonna envy of different persons like positions. That, for example, that the person ahead from us, she never, maybe she doesn't care about the person standing in front of her, because actually the person standing in front of her is making making her experience more beautiful. That's because this is in the system of this room. If there's a water streaming on the floor, there will be no flowers to bloom, because like if there's a flower and if there's a water on it, then the flower will be streaming and it's gone. And but like once the person is spreading the waters, and then there will be flowers start to bloom. So maybe the person standing in front of everybody, they can see, she can see the most beautiful water streaming coming down from the top of the room. But the person standing ahead from her, then maybe she can experience the nice experience of combination of water and flowers. So everybody don't necessary to envy each other or hate each other in our space. Even if it's a children running on the floor, or touching the ball, touching the artworks too much and yelling each other, we don't feel any negative emotion to see that, because actually they are one of the most one of the key materials that to make this our exhibition, our space more beautiful. Because once if they run, once if they touch the animals, and then they can make more interactions, more beautiful effects in the spaces. So the kit is kind of key materials of our space, and we don't have any negative emotion to see they are playing in our spaces. And also this will be another funny example. The next picture I'm going to show you is this is right 1 hour before our London museum is that the door of our London exhibit is open. We came back to the room, I mean the flower and people's room, to check if there's any error, if every single system is going good. And we just came back to the room before opening the door, and then we found there's one place with the flowers. So we thought it's an error, because I explained already, if there's no persons, there will be no flowers start to bloom. But like when we came back to this room, there was one place filled with flowers. So we thought it's a bug or errors. But like when we get closer to these flowers, as you can see, if you see this flower closer, there's a man sleeping on this floor, and you can see the MacBook on the top of this picture, and there will be iPhone next to the MacBook. So this is one of our member, and he was keep updating our project without coming back to the hotel, without having sleep for more than 2 days. So he didn't have a chance to actually have a shower for 2 days. So he didn't. He was kind of like messy. But like we thought, when we came to this room, we need to wake him up immediately to kick him away from this room. Otherwise, the door will be open and the visitors will be getting into this room. We cannot show this dirty old man sleeping on the floor to the visitors. But like other member says, yeah, this can be interesting. So because we didn't feel any negative emotion to see this old man is sleeping on the floor. Maybe the visitors can be feel the same emotions. Then after having considerations, we opened the door, not waking him up, and he was sleeping in front of many visitors. But like, all the visitors did quite positive reactions. When they entered this room, they had no idea that there is a man sleeping on the floor. So many people finding one place is the flowers because it's beautiful. And then people start to get closer to the flower and try to take the pictures by themselves. But at the moment they realize there's a man sleeping on the floor, and then everybody's reacting like wow from beginning. But like after having wow, then they start to keep taking a picture and posting his picture, like saying beautiful man, or on the social media or something like that. He himself wasn't beautiful enough. But in these stations, if there's an interaction between art and the visitors, art and humans, and then people can appreciate different persons existing in positive way. This is this is one of the key of our installations. In our environment, nobody's gonna hate each other. Nobody is gonna feel any negative emotion to different human beings. This is our key concept that we have when we are making digital artworks. And then when I talk about this topic in front out of the companies, sometimes I get the questions, and is it necessary to be art? It can be another, I don't know, entertainment, or it can be another experience rather than art. And we have an answer for these questions. Why we are stuck on making artworks is because this is just our ideas. But if we look back the histories, only the scientists and artists is leaving their name in longer histories. This doesn't mean we like to leave our name in the histories, but this is a fact. After look back the histories over, I don't know, 1,000 years, and then there will be no other persons rather than scientists and artists leaving their name in histories. Because when people leaving their names, that's because their name, they did something important to the world. That's I think that's the only reason that people is trying to not forgetting the past person's names. And then we have another answers for why scientists and artists is only two persons can leave their names in the histories. Because a scientist is broaden the world. I mean, physically broaden the world, and the art have a power to change the world, the way the world works. So I'm going to show you one example how scientists is changing the world. I took this video in my house. So yeah, this is not an interesting video, but nobody's gonna get surprised to see this video in this era, right? Because we know the gravity existing, we know the rubber materials existing. So all the things it was invented, discovered by scientists. But if we show this video in, I don't know, 1,000 years before, maybe people get really surprised because they cannot expect the ball can be falling down because they don't know the gravities. And also there wasn't such a materials, the rubber existing in the in the period. So if people see the ball is bouncing like this, it's going to be very surprising for them at the moment. But now scientists is discovering many things that people get used to. People is learning gravity and rubbers and different materials. So actually I can say we can getting smarter than past. That's because the scientist is discovering many things. For example, when somebody invent a bomb, people, the world, it's changed immediately. So that the scientists can have a power to change the world immediately in a different way. This can be a good way, this can be a bad way, but both scientists is changing the world in physically, I mean, also immediately. And another question, and therefore, how artists is changing the world? And this is another of our ideas, but like looking back to histories, and I'd like to show you all one pictures. So this is kind of famous pictures painted in 1970 in Paris. And this is the name Rainy Weather in Paris Street. So in this year, 1990, when people try to draw the pictures of rainy days, this is the way the people describing the rainy days by their paint. So the method is let the people keep holding the umbrellas, and also make the floor wet. This key material was the way the people is describing the rainy weathers in these years. But slightly before, 20 years before, 5 countries in Japan, and there's another painters, Hiroshige, draw this picture in Japan. There's no airplane, there's no internet at this moment, but he drew this picture in this Japan. And this picture was the first picture, very first picture. The human being is describing the rain as by using the lines. And this picture is showing, could be the first pictures that the people is capturing the rain as the lines. So now after this picture is showing up to the world, and the human beings, how we are capturing the rainy days is has changed slightly. So now if we ask the children to let's draw the rainy days of pictures, and then I think many children, I think most of them using rain as a lines or at least dot to describe that our humans beings eyes is capturing the rainy days. We can see the rain because it's actually falling down from the sky. This picture is telling them into the world. And then after 30 years, the one picture is showing up in Japan, and then spending 30 years, it's going to be resonating to the entire world. Especially this one is in European countries. Van Gogh, he also drew the pictures of the rainy days by using the lines. So at this moment, the one picture could change the way of the capturing the rainy days by so art has a change. Art has so much slower than the effects of the scientists that they can do in the world. They can change the world immediately, physically, but artists is changing using one artworks is to change the way of the world looks. That's the power of the artworks, is not having entertainment or not having different materials. Art have a power to change the way of the world looks to the seers. And then the next challenge, we've opened many exhibits and museums so far, and this will be our next challenge. We could make one borderless museum and two borderless museum to make the human beings' presence positive to each other. But in this case, our next challenge, this will be the city in China. It's Shenzhen. Shenzhen is one of the most rapidly increasing city in the world. It's a digital city. But like we are trying to make this city as the city where we can feel different citizens, different peoples as a positive to each other in this city. So we named this city as a personalized city, as the name says. In this square, we can we started the video. Wait. In this city, we are trying to make the different persons existing in a positive way. Sorry, I'm gonna restart the slide once again. And then, okay, sorry about that. So in this square, people having their personal event. I mean, personal event can be, I don't know, wedding, personal can be event, can be birthday party, I don't know, wedding celebrations or something like that. Any kind of a personal event can be having this organized in this square. And then when the people is having the specific moment, as you can see, when in a wedding, when they are exchanging the ring, when they are having to kiss each other, maybe there will be some special effect. I mean, personally designed effect is showing up from the square. And then maybe this effect will be resonating the entire world, because like there is a screen on the surface of the building in Shenzhen. So maybe this kind of effect can be resonating the entire towns. So for example, if I'm working hours in this one of the building, suddenly we can see some beautiful effect when you're working. Then people can be happy to see something beautiful. And after spending this kind of experience over, I don't know, we have no specific idea, but 10 years, 20 years, or could be longer. And after keep doing these experiences in this city, maybe if we see something beautiful in the city, maybe we can think about somebody is having their happy moment in somewhere in the city. So after doing this completed stations, maybe we can celebrate total stranger's birthday or personal event as a happy things to each other. So that's our next challenge. We can try to, we could make the one exhibit, I mean one space that we can feel different persons' presence as a positive to each other. And now we're trying to choose a city that we can feel the different persons existing as a positive Then if we can make the city, at the moment, I think we have quite sure that we can make a country as a positive, very positive country. Then if we can make the one countries, then could just should be resonating to the entire world. And then we have no idea how long does it take to complete, but at the end, maybe the world can be a happier place that if we see different persons from overseas or different person in different countries, then we can think that they are positive with each other. That's the biggest picture that currently we are painting for, but and also we have no idea how how many years, how many decades we took to complete this project. But we are trying to we are never forget to complete this project. This is the key thing that we are doing in Teamlab. And then I have 5 more minutes, so I'm going to show you the structure of our team, our structure of Teamlab as a company. So, and this is the structure. We have 700 members working together, and 60% of our members is formed with engineers. And then we have creative team. This is the team of the designers, UI/UX designers, visual designers, 3D animators, many kind of designers is in this 15%. And then the rest of the 20 to 25%, we have catalyst members. This can be described as project managers or directors for each project. But they came from different specialties, such as some of them from the architect's field, some of them from consulting phase, some of them from art galleries, but the many members belongs to this catalyst team in executing the old project. And then this is our studio right now, but not luckily, but I have here in the office today, so maybe I can show you around within 3 minutes to having the, I don't know, digital office tour. This is the things that I cannot do if I come to the Thailand. I couldn't show you all our offices. So today I'd like to show you our studio from Tokyo. So I was sitting here having this light because Benson organizer told me I should be preparing to be looked nicer. So I just prepared the lights, and this is how we call it testing room. So we've got many. It's a little messy, sorry about that, but it's we have many prototypes for the new artworks, and then testing and making prototype again and again. And once the quality is enough, got enough, then we brought the artwork to the actual places. And then when I get out from the testing rooms, this is this is the where we see the pictures. And then we have animals today. They are not animations, they are also moving slightly. And then we have entrance right now. And then all the tables and the furniture is designed and built by our architects members. And there is random pattern on the floors. If we move our body in 3D way, 3-dimensional ways, we can think the idea in 3-dimensional ways. So that's why we made this random pattern on the floors. And then this nice Japanese types of, I don't know how we call in English, but we call it kotatsu. So Japanese style table. And then that pink table is very popular to have in the nap of our members. And then this is massage materials from, I believe it's some countries from Southeast Asia, but we have 500 of them. So it costs 2 million yen to make this. I don't know what's the meaning of this blocks, but we have a blocks in this table. Because when we are moving hand, our brain is working more efficiently. And then we have another artwork. This is a flower. I think Thai people is very popular. I forgot the name of the flowers, but many my Thai friends came to Japan to see this purple flowers. and then our branding member is having meeting over there, and then I came back to this messy prototyping room. So this could be the end of my presentation. Today I wanted to know, I think the key things, one thing is we are not making entertainment contents to make money, but we are trying to make the, if I say in an easy way, we are trying to make the art, the world and the people into the better situations from now by making artworks. That's the thing I wanted to talk today to you. So thank you very much for listening my talk. I really wish to visit Bangkok to talk in front of everybody, but this is what I can do from Tokyo. But thank you very much for your patience, and thank you very much for listening my talk.
Thank you so much, Yamada-san. It's a very inspiring talk. The relationships among people is the core concept for Teamlab. It's very interesting that how that is laid out in the works that you have displayed and showed us. And it's also one of the core, let's say, concepts and cultures within Teamlab itself, as you can see in your office. I'm very excited about your virtual tour that you just showed us. It does show how you integrate a lot of ideas, things that you produce inside this office space. And it does show that culture. This is quite amazing because we've only seen your exhibitions from the venues that have located all your projects. We haven't seen the behind the scenes and the core concepts behind that, and you have graciously explained that to all of us. So we will be opening up for questions from either the panelists or from our guests. Let's see.
I think I got one or two questions.
So we have a question here. Can you elaborate on the decision to move from just making great artwork to also acquiring, developing, and operating the spaces in which it is placed? So the spatial qualities of your exhibitions as well.
Which question did you just written? I see only two questions on the Q&A. Maybe that question is coming from chat?
Yes, this is from our panelists.
All right.
So that's the first question.
Okay. Thank you very much for asking. Answering to this question, let me think about it. I'm very bad at doing Q&A things because.
So moving beyond artwork, and have you considered the development of the spaces that you will be exhibiting as well?
So we are designing and also developing all the things. I mean, all the things is even including our offices as well. But artworks can be developed by ourselves, and also when we are having a space, we also design the physical space as well, because we have architect members. So to make the space as a best environment to let the visitors to experience our artworks is in. So answering to the questions, we are designing the space, we are developing all the materials within our experiences to promising for the quality of the experience to the visitors.
Yes, so you do have your team of architects and spatial designers to work on that, right?
We have the members.
Okay, next question. How would you describe the relationship between art and technology in your office? And
in
what
office
is next? Yes, I had the same question as well.
Technology in the office. We are not. I think I should say we are not really stuck in on. I mean, we are. Our key is not inventing the new technologies in the scientist as a scientist, because that's the reason why we don't call our artworks as a media art. Media art and digital art ways, the definition ourselves is different. So media art is, I think their key is also inventing the new technologies to create the artworks in a different way, different than the past. But like in our artworks is we are not we are developing, and also we are doing research for the new technologies, but we are not making artworks. It's based on trying to show the technologies ourselves. So we are just using technologies to make the experience. So in our digital artworks, it's experience and the concept is the key things that we try to we are expecting the visitors to experience. So that's I'm not sure I'm answering to the questions, but we are not focusing on discovering the new technologies. When we came up with a new concept, new image of the artworks, and if there's a necessity of inventing the new technologies, then we solve the problem. Then we develop the new technologies that we can achieve on the experiences.
Great.
Okay.
Next question. How do you organize team creativity?
Team creativity, very interesting. So as a company, Teamlab, we are providing super freedom to the entire members. So we don't calculate, we don't estimate their working hours, or we don't expect them to control the money for the budget for the one installations. So maybe some of the installations, some of the exhibit can make the less monies. We are losing money by making artworks. Then some of the artworks, some of the exhibit making nice monies, but we don't evaluating our members by the numbers, number of the visitors, number of the money we earn from the exhibit, but we are only expecting them to achieve the quality of the experiences. And then when the quality of the exhibit experience is enough, then the result can be showing in the numbers. And then if they are satisfied, then we are evaluating each members. So then evaluating means that we can increase the salary of the members or something like that. So they have freedom. Their interest, it's not their obligation, their interest is only making the better quality of the experience by themselves, by our project. So if they wanted to, I don't know, attend the conference, if they wanted to purchase the book, if they wanted to, I don't know, get any experience to make our experience better in the better way, our company never hesitate to pay the money, pay the, I don't know, time or anything to the members. That's how we are trying to keep our members' creativity. I hope it works so far.
Well, it does certainly seem to be working, because the work that you have produced is very inspiring and full of creativity. So thank you for the question. Thank you for the answer. I had the same question actually about your office, because the virtual tour is very interesting. The formation of the office, do you think, does that also inspire creativity amongst your members?
I think so. We when we are designing our offices, the key thing is trying to decrease the cost of the communications. That's the key things. So as I have shown, there's no wall. I mean, there's no physical wall in the office, in the entire floor. I mean, if there's a like typical office, there will be I mean, meeting rooms, or I don't know, if there's a boss there, he might have a room of his area. But in our office, we didn't want to have the walls. That's because, like, if it's a physical wall, mind wall will be distracting the humans communications. So in our office, everybody, even the CEO or the founders, they can always free to talk. If we wanted to set the, I don't know, specific meeting, we can check their Google calendars, they make an appointment, then we can I can always talk with the CEOs as a personally. So there's no cost of the communication in our office. That's the key things.
It sounds like a dream job. I'm teaching at a university and we're full of at least 10 different assessments, and we can't do anything without numbers. So if you're hiring, please let me know. We have 2 more questions.
All right.
How do you achieve a balance between technology and art at work? Maybe art is more attractive and worthy of investment?
I think I said something similar in I answered similar answer to the previous questions, but we are focusing on concept first. We wanted to the key thing is we are trying to make find a new relationship between people. So that's the key things, and then therefore art has a power. Then we start get interested in making artworks because art have a power to change the humans human natures. And then if there's artworks is they're necessary to have the interactions. That's because I've already talked today. If there's no interactions, people can hate each other in the same situations. So we made the interactions. If we try to make the better interactions, we needed the members who can control the sensors or who can control the interactions. And then we came up with the technologies. So that's I think I answered correctly, but we are focusing on experience first. Then there should be art should be tools, and the technology should be another tools to achieve the experiences.
Okay, I think we have time for one last question.
Okay.
How do you interpret the role of techniques towards creativity, such as computer vision and machine learning? Because creativity is a really unique thing of human beings that cannot be substituted.
Okay, it's very this can be not like answer from Teamlab, but this can I answer to you by personally? So I think machine learning, that's very deep learning. It's very interesting topic, and we shouldn't afraid of that they are taking over our jobs. It's not a risk. It's very nice things. So the people in the future, we don't have to spend the time to do the body works, the works. We shouldn't spend the time on it. So people will have more time to learn, time to work, time to do whatever they prefer to do. I mean, time for the hobbies. So they can increase. We in the future will have more time than the past for the free time to improve our creativity or to do something we like to. So machine learning will help us to have more free time in the future. That's my idea. So let the AI and the robot taking over from our human nonsense jobs as soon as they can. Then we should focusing on trying to discover something new, not existing in the past. So that's so answering to the question, I think the machine learning is very positive in the human futures.
So it's encouraging, and you will try to integrate that to your core culture. Very good. Thank you for the answer and all the questions from everyone. I'm sorry that I can't read some of the names because they're in Chinese characters. I cannot read Chinese.
I think it's one son.
So let's say that from the CAADRIA organized conference under the theme of Anthropocene, I think this is a very relevant topic. You can see that your work in Borderless has unlimited boundaries or boundaryless aspects to them. So the experience is more universal. It crosses all these different cultural aspects, strangers, demographics, and even geographic locations. So it is a core thing that you are trying to connect people through art. And for that, I think this is a great conclusion to this conference where we're trying to connect our community in CAADRIA. So thank you very much for your wonderful talk, and thank you for your time spent being a keynote at CAADRIA 2020.
Thank you very much. Hope I can see you all in one day in physical. Thank you very much. Open up.
Thank you.